It is Rick Ginn, and it is all about social media today. We are talking about how to get leads from social media, but the really cool part is how to get them for $0. And honestly, kind of specialize in this. Actually, Zach helped me formulate this, and I'm going to go into a deep strategy today to share it all with you guys. So let me tell you a little bit about my story. So I'm one of the old timers, the original Facebook guys. I think 2006, 7 maybe. I think it was 6. Good Lord, that time. Anyways, so I joined a lot of groups when they started popping up. Now, when Facebook first started up, groups were very simple, and there wasn't a lot of rules. So you would join a group. The sooner you joined it, the more street cred you got in the group, the more credentials you got. So my hobby is anything with like boating and fishing. So I would join in those. And then once I got going, I just commented like crazy because that's what people do in social media. So I didn't understand it when it first started. But what happened is after I was in a group 3 or 6 months, I started just experimenting and go, hey, and I did it 100% organically. And I started posting in there. I go, listen, if you guys need to sell, if somebody in the group needs to sell the house, I'm your man. Really simple post like that. And what happened is they completely trusted me because they saw I loved fishing and boating. And the reality is you use social media to find people that have very similar interests you have. So just like people, like if you love tennis and you're in a tennis group, you start talking off, you can easily transition that conversation. If you had a coffee shop, if you sold insurance, if you had a mechanic shop, anything like that. Why? Because the trust factor is already there. So a light bulb went off in my head. I go, man, like I can get deals from this. And I did. And I got a lot of deals. So I always started out, my favorite thing was starting out in fishing forums. So the difference is when social media came along, spamming was really developed in email marketing, and spamming does not work in social media. So you guys can put in the comment sections how many times you get tired of people spamming you. You go to Wholesaling for a House That's Real, 9 out of 10 comments we get on there are spammers. And we actually have to pay someone to sort all that information out. Otherwise, you guys would never get to the content and you would get really annoyed. And that's what spamming does. And if you decide to spam, none of this ever works. So spamming is basically the old school. So spamming works in all groups and forums. It doesn't matter if it's online or in person. So when I used to run the local RIA here in the Port St. Lucie, Florida area. And there was always one person to come in and she would go around the room and says, listen, I need cash buyers. I need your card. I need cash. I need cash. I need cash. And that's all she had. And after a while, nobody wanted to deal with her. And so now people figured out how to do the same thing online. Remember, guys, if you do not provide value to other people, they're not going to give it to you in return. So if you constantly take it, nobody wants to do business with you. Same thing online. So what I basically did was targeted boating and fishing forums. I got street cred in there, and then I went on there and I posted. And then people like, oh, we already trust you. Hey, Rick, I need to sell my house. I had a really bad tenant. And I got deals for free. Not only did I get them for free, I got a lot of them. And I figured out how to do that. It's all about being you and being authentic, which is perfect because that's what my identity is. So here's how we do it. I particularly like Facebook groups because I think, I don't know, maybe I'm just an old schooler type of guy, but they're just a little bit more authentic. So here's what I want you to do is find groups that you are already in. This really works if groups you're establishing for years. It's even better. And if you're constantly posting in there, it's ginormous because you've already got past the trust factor. People know you aren't spamming and you already have authentic, organic conversations. And once you do that, you just simply do an introduction, say, listen, just let you know, guys, I buy houses with problem tenants. I buy them in probate, foreclosure. I'm super simple. I'm a fishing guy. I'm a boating guy, and I want to help you out. And usually the trust factor will go along. Now, if you abuse it, you get kicked out of the group. But if you follow the rules of the group and you're genuine about it, it actually works. So if you're a dog training group, that's a great place because people already trust you. If you're really good at training dogs, which I'm not, if you met my dog, you would understand. And that's how it works. So I just want everyone to kind of visualize that concept. We're going to go a little bit deeper here. Now, the key in what I told you is you have to post natively within your established groups. And when I say native is if I say I'm a bona fide like snow skier and like that's what I do and I live in Southern Florida, it's probably not very native for me. Now I might go on vacation, but I probably suck at it. And the reality is somebody in the Midwest is probably not going to join a saltwater fishing forum. So number one, make sure you're in groups that like you align with what you actually do. You'd be surprised people understand that. The next one, I've already told you, do not spam these groups. The fastest way to get kicked and banned from a group is just post ridiculous. I'm looking for cash buyers. Look at it. It's like, it's endless. So we get it in our groups. And so if you do it to other people's groups, they're going to shield and block you. And honestly, you just waste your time at the end of the day. Stop trying to be a scam artist and actually provide people with value. So if you're in a dog training group, provide a video or training tips. If you're good at training a dog, maybe you guys can DM me and tell me how to train my dog, because my dog's spoiled rotten. But provide value. And then when you start providing value, it's just natural. People like to do business with people they like. Here's probably the most important part I can tell you. You just got to be authentic. If you're going to be fake in these groups, if you're not passionate about something, don't do it. You can't just I can't go into women's knitting and probably fit in there. Number one, I don't knit. Number two, I'm not a woman. So understand the group and your audience that you're targeting and just simply go at it with that. Okay. And here's where it gets really fun. I know I'm going through this fast, but I'm trying so I can spend time with you guys on the back, because you guys all tell me, Rick, we need more time. Let me shut this thing off. I think it's off. Okay. So when it comes to making that post, you're like, okay, so you are taking a little risk when you take that post. So it's got to be flowing and it's got to be creative. And here is the secret. Now, I didn't have this secret. I had to do this the hard way. And honestly, it cost me a lot of my good groups. So number one, if you have a group that you really value and you have a special relationship, understand you take a risk when you go outside and talk about real estate. If you're in a dog or a cat one, and some people get really offended when you try to do business in their groups. But remember, if you provide a value, you're organic, you're in a native group, this should be simple and it should align. Because whenever I see spammers posting this, you know what the secret is to spammers? The minute they get accepted in the group, 10 minutes later, they post a spam. I know right away you're doing this to thousands of groups and all the groups are going to switch you, block you. 9 times out of 10 is basically a VA that's just told to post in every group. And someone got some really bad information and they think they're making progress and they're not. So create a simple post. You're probably like thinking, well, Rick, can you give me word for word to do the post? Here's the really cool part. I was really bad when I first did this. So I would try to tie in my hobby to, hey, oh, and by the way, here's what I did, guys. This is a secret. We talk about this thing, AI. This is where you let AI do this for you. Now, I'm pretty good at ad copy and writing only because I've done it for 21 years. In the beginning, I sucked at it. And I'm here to tell you, if you take the mentality, hey, I suck at ad writing, and you need more experience doing it, this, honestly, the AI changes the rules to the game. So what I want to do is share with your screen, show you how to do it. I'm going to do this raw because I've never really done AI to do this. To be honest with you, I have employees that do this for me now, and that I trained them all to use AI, and their ad copies are absolutely amazing. And honestly, some of them barely speak a lick of English. So if you allow me, I'm going to screen my share and we'll do this together and we will make this work. So you see this up here. I'm going to do now, guys. I do AI, but I'm not, I do it for a lot of other stuff, but I'm going to show you and we're going to do this together. So honestly, I've never really used this for Facebook because I have employees that do this for me, but I figured what a better way to do this than now. So let me go in. Okay. So hopefully you guys can see my screen. So let's start a new chat here. Okay. And so by the way, you don't have to have nice manners with Chat GPT. It doesn't care. So when you say please or I'm requesting, don't do that. Create a casual post in the dog training Facebook group, letting them know I love this group. I love this group and I buy houses for cash. Now, if you're a guy, this is kind of how we talk. This is what we're thinking in our brain. And let me fix this. You can simply put in a post like this. And this is why I want you guys to understand AI, because you don't have to, like in the old days, I used to have to go hire ad copywriters. So this is test. So let's see what happens here. So something went wrong. Okay. So now the thing is stuck. So it's not working. Well, let's try it one more time. I didn't copy that. Write a Facebook ad for a dog lovers group telling them how much I love dogs and I also buy houses for cash. Now, it might be down. It's the problem with ChatGPT on the free version. They do have a paid premium. I think it's $20 a month. And there you go, guys. It's like simple as that. Now, to me, that's too long. So attention all dog lovers. If you're looking to sell your home, clearly the house with real estate agents. And then you keep going on. Can you simplify to one paragraph? So you kind of get the gist of how this works. You can keep playing and it'll keep getting better and smarter and smarter. Guys, honestly, it'd take me probably an hour to like figure this stuff out all by myself. And the fact that you have the beauty of this. So what I want you to do is just practice it. It works really well because trying to write an organic, natural post is kind of weird sometimes and it feels uncomfortable. And you can tell it to dumb it down to a third grade level. You can tell it to narrow it down to 3 sentences and it works. And by the way, this works in all formats. Let me take this off here. This works in all social media formats. I find it works best to Facebook because maybe we're just older and maybe they own more real estate and maybe that's the way to go. But so you're going to use that. And then honestly, you just simply take the strategy, use it in Craigslist. Craigslist people are a little bit stranger. Craigslist is like kind of that lost list, but it still does work. Now we've used it on Instagram and a bunch of other ones. I don't have nearly as much success. TikTok's a waste of your time on this one, but if you can get traction with this Instagram to do it, Instagram's just, it's not as sticky and people are, it's like the faster, younger version of Facebook. That's just the truth of it. But Facebook works the best, then Craigslist, and then you can experiment in other platforms. We're always trying new ones. And this is simply how it works. The really cool part is we're not doing paid for ads. We're not doing paid for ads. That is not how we do this. These are organic posts and they're much, much more effective. And people like to do business of people like that have the similar hobbies. So if you have a group that you're, like single mothers raising children or anything like that, you're going to get that authenticity and then just that brutal, like they just connect with you and it works really well. So, but a lot of people overlook the free part of social media and you go straight to the paid. I'm here to tell you, man, in my opinion, the paid is a disaster on Facebook. Prove me wrong. Honestly, why are there so many people selling courses out there, but they don't have a wholesaling business? I don't know, because you can make a lot more money in selling a course. Now, it works a lot better for realtors because people are always looking to sell a house top retail and it's a different strategy. Wholesaling, people don't go on Facebook to hunt to wholesale their houses. So what happens is when you get in a large group of say dog lovers or cat lovers and you're part of the group and you interact with them, when it comes time, hey, just let you know, guys, if you ever need to sell a house quick, Rick's your guy. I'm it. And when you do that, when something comes up, you are a natural fit. Guys, I've literally bought hundreds of houses this way. It works. The key is you can't be a spammer and you can't fake it. If you fake it, it's not going to work. If you're going to fake it, just go straight to the paid ads and throw your money right out the window on the deal. So you got to understand on paid ads with Facebook, it is a 12 to 24 month nurturing process. That's why I don't like paid Facebook ads. It's very painful for wholesaling. I'm not saying it doesn't work, but for the most part, guys, I put a lot of money and time in it. And I know a lot of people sell courses on it. So that is